All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to yet another guided newspaper practice. We organize these sessions every morning with the aim to help students improve their fundamental skills, including reading, including listening, vocabulary, and also pronunciation. We also help you frame sentences and think about what you feel about the topics that we discuss. So, this is how the guided newspaper practice sessions go. If you're attending this session for the first time, you might want to subscribe to our channel to receive alerts automatically. All right. Good morning, Gayatri, Avinash, Deep, Vinil, Palvi, Saurabh, Pratiksha. Good morning. Nice to have you guys. We'll discuss about we're going we I picked an article about bird watchers today, as in specifically about black-eared kites. This is how it looks like. The article talks about the migration patterns of this particular bird. Okay, so the article that you see here is very typical of what you would find in a reading test, and it is important for you to read quickly, have the skill of speed reading, and that happens when you expose yourself to different topics and also read every day. That's the aim of the guided newspaper practice sessions. Let's see if we have anyone else. Let me know on the chat box if you guys have joined in. Okay, Singpan, good morning. And anybody else who's here, please let me know on the chat box. I'll just wait for maybe just a minute and then I'll get started. So we'll have 4 rounds. Akanksha, good morning. So we'll have 4 rounds as a part of this session. The first round will be listening, as in you will just listen to the article and understand what the article is all about without actually knowing the meaning of every single word. The second round will be guided reading, as in you will be reading the article along with me, sentence by sentence. The third round is guided speaking, where you will speak out loud with the same kind of stresses and pauses. Aishwarya, good morning. And the fourth round will be framing sentences with the words that you learned. Okay? Yes. All right. Let's get started then. This is going to be a very interesting article about black-eared kites. If you guys just joined, that's what the article is all about. Pooja, Babicha, Anusha, Mohan, good morning. Okay, great. Let's get started then. Just try and understand the article as you move forward. This is a very simple article to say so. Okay, now is quite the season for bird watchers in the tropics as they welcome thousands of migratory birds flying towards their winter homes. These migrants journey along one of the world's 9 major flyways, the patterned routes in the sky that birds take to reach their destinations. Over 229 species of migratory birds spend their winters in the Indian subcontinent. One of them is the black-eared kite, a bird of prey, also called a raptor, that breeds in central northern Asia and spends its winter in multiple parts of South Asia, including in and around Delhi. While some ornithologists have studied the migration of water birds that flap across the Himalaya to get to India, the raptor's routes have been less known. In fact, scientists continue to be intrigued by how and where these birds cross the Himalayan barrier. Moving forward, in a recent study published on September 29, scientists from WII, Dehradun, and the University of Oxford and the Donana Biological Station, Seville, tracked the migration of black-eared kites to and from Delhi, flying over 9 Asian countries. The researchers tagged 19 kites, 14 adults, and 5 pre adults with GPS trackers to reveal their routes. This way, the researchers found the kites seem to cross over the Karakoram range. This is a remarkable study that adds tremendously to our knowledge of bird migration. It is notable for 2 reasons. To my mind, the large number of individuals systematically tracked, and that this is one of the very few studies of a species other than water birds in India. Okay, interesting. Did you find this article interesting? There's more, but this is what we're going to cover today. Utkarsh, good morning. Praviti, Dolly, good morning. Nice to have you guys. Did you guys understand the article? This was very easy, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Let's just proceed now and let's understand the article sentence by sentence. Okay. Okay. Great. Yes. Right. So now is the article is about black-eared kite. So we'll just go sentence by sentence. The sentences are very simple actually. You don't have to struggle much to understand what the article is. You just probably understood it, maybe 90% of it. There were a few words that were technical, there were a few words that were new, right? Yes, correct. So let's try and understand the article word by word. Now is quite the season for bird watchers in the tropics. Again, so what is now is quite the season, as in it is seen to be a season where people gather to watch birds, especially in the tropics. So what is a tropic? What region is called a tropic region? Anything that's along the equator, okay, or a little above and below the equator, that's called a tropic. Okay, that's a tropic region. So India is a tropical region. Okay, it's very close to the equator, as they welcome thousands of migratory birds flying towards their winter homes. Migratory birds, birds that move from one place, fly from one place to another. Okay, and they shift to their winter homes. These migrants journey along. Journey along is a verb here, as in they fly along. Okay, this is the path that they follow. Journey along one of the world's 9 major flyways. So you've heard roadways, you've heard waterways. This a flyway is like a route that the birds take to fly. Okay? Yes, to reach their destinations. What is a destination? That's the end point of a journey. Over 229 species of migratory birds spend their winters in the Indian subcontinent. So during the winters, these 229 species or categories of birds spend their time in the Indian subcontinent, as in India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, all of these countries that are located in the Indian subcontinent. Okay, simple enough, not difficult at all. Preet, good morning. Anusha, Niyati, Murtaza, Pooja. Very easy, right? Okay, moving forward. Now they're picking one particular bird here and then talking about it in this article. So they say one of them is black-eared kite. Okay, black-eared, the ears of the kite are black. Kite is, by the way, a bird of prey, also called a raptor. So it means the same thing actually. A bird of prey, as in something that hunts the other birds or whatever. It basically hunts. It's also called a raptor. So any bird that preys, as in prey, as in any bird that hunts, is also called a raptor. Okay, that breeds in central northern Asia and spends its winter in multiple parts of South Asia, including in and around Delhi. Breeds, as in it grows in number, it grows in population in central northern Asia. It's a region, okay, and spends its winter in multiple parts of South Asia, including in and around Delhi. This is a good way of saying that it also stays or it also breeds in Delhi. Okay, it's a good way of saying it. All right, moving on. While some ornithologists, as in people who study or are experts around birds, have studied the migration of water birds that flap around across the Himalaya to get to India. What is flap? Again, that's a verb. So flap is something that says, it just the wings kind of move up and down. That's flap. Okay, across the Himalaya to get to India, the raptor's routes have been less known. Instead of saying are not known, they just say less known. In fact, scientists continue to be intrigued, interested, or fascinated by how and where these birds cross the Himalayan barrier. Okay, so a barrier is something like a stop. Got it? Now, did you understand what this article meant? I just read it out aloud for you and explained the meanings. Yes, okay, Pravita, yes, good. Avinash, good, good. Yes, Sindhja, exactly. All right. So, good words that we learned today. are probably intrigued is a good word. Barrier is a good word. We learned what a raptor is called, right? We learned breed. That's also a good word. Migrant, pattern, journey along is a good phrasal verb, right? So look at the amount of words that you pick up when you read. Interested, something that is fascinating, intriguing, fascinating. Okay? Yes, absolutely. Sindhuja, you're right. Pavitra, good. Saurabh, Pooja. Okay? So if you notice, welcome here is a verb, journey along is a verb. It's an action as they welcome, the act of welcoming thousands of migratory birds. Journey along, travel along. That's what it means. Okay, flyways, also an interesting word. Flyways is like the route that birds take. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Okay, great, great. Good. Ornithologist is someone who studies birds. All these are academic terms, I understand, but it is still good to learn these new technical words. Can be of help without you knowing it. Okay, all right. Yes, Anusha, good. Great. So let's just move on and just continue reading the article. In a recent study published on September 29, scientists from WII, University of this is tracked the migration. What is tracked? As in they constantly monitored the migration, as in the movement of these birds to and from Delhi. Okay, flying over 9 Asian countries. The researchers tagged 19 kites with GPS trackers. What is tagged? Again, they kind of bound some GPS trackers. What is a GPS tracker? Something that identifies location. Okay, so they tagged that tracker to kites to reveal their routes. This way, the kites seem to cross over the Karakoram range. So it's a mountain range. Karakoram is a mountain range. Correct? So reveal as in to identify. It's to put out something that was unidentified all this while. Okay, yes, traced, found out, monitor. Exactly. Traced is also a good word instead of track. Good, good. Deep, Aviva, good job. Okay. Yeah, monitor, exactly. And tagged is to attach. Well done, well done. So, this is a remarkable study. This is a notable study. Again, used twice in the paragraph. This is a remarkable study that adds tremendously to our knowledge of bird migration. Remarkable study, it's a very good, significant study that adds a great deal of knowledge, a lot of knowledge. Instead of just saying a lot of knowledge, tremendously adds tremendous amount of knowledge of bird migration. Okay, it is notable for two reasons. It is significant, or it is, you have to pay attention to this for two reasons. Okay, so two reasons that this person says, Suhail Kader says, is that the large number of individuals that are systematically tracked, as in the birds that are tracked, that 19 birds were tracked, which is a very big deal according to them. And this is one of the very few species, other than water birds, that were studied in India. All right, so that's what they mean. So they say that this particular bird species is one of the very few species, the land species other than the water birds that were studied. So usually in India, only water birds are studied, and this is one of them, one of the species that were not water birds. Okay, that's what this person meant. Interesting. Was this article now interesting to study? I mean, read and understand? Yes. Okay. Systematically, again, step by step. Okay, so they were not tracked and then they were just left. So they were kind of tracked and understood their patterns of their flying patterns, and then they were studied a lot. That's meticulously. That's what systematically means. Okay, so when you read, these words are probably commonly used in every article. So try remembering these words and try writing down these words. Yes. Okay. Correct. Very good. Okay, wonderful. All right. Now let's just let's move on to doing guided speaking. So remember that with speaking, your pronunciation has to be a little punched up, a little exaggerated from normal. So when you're reading out aloud, and this you can do on your own, you don't have to depend on guided newspaper practice alone. You can do these things on your own by picking an article of your interest, okay, something that you like, and reading it out aloud. Stressing on words that you think are important can help you, improve on an area called pronunciation. So the more stresses that you have, the more features you display, the better your speaking score is. But you have to do it naturally. It shouldn't be that you are memorizing these things. Okay? Okay, great. Good job in participating. Now let's do guided speaking for this very interesting article about black-eared kites. Okay? Yes. Okay, great. So repeat after me. I'll pause after 4, 5 words and then you will just repeat after me. Okay. Now is quite the season for bird watchers in the tropics as they welcome thousands of migratory birds flying towards their winter homes. These migrants journey along one of the world's 9 major flyways. The patterned routes in the sky that birds take to reach their destinations. Remember, upward tone and then downward tone. All right? Yeah. Over 229 species of migratory birds spend their winters in the Indian subcontinent. Remember, upward tone when you start, downward tone when you end, stresses in between. This is called intonation. Do it the same way. Okay, moving on. One of them is a black-eared kite. A bird of prey, also called a raptor, that breeds in central northern Asia or Asia and spends its winter in multiple parts of South Asia, including in and around Delhi. It's winter. Not IT apostrophe S is it is. It's winter. The bird's winter. Okay? Okay. Wonderful. Moving forward, while some ornithologists have studied the migration of water birds that flap across the Himalaya to get to India, the raptor's routes have been less known. Try reading it faster, okay? Don't do it slowly because then you are not picking up the meaning. So as you read fast, you kind of get the meaning. If you read just 2, 3 words, you won't understand the meaning. All right, moving forward. In fact, scientists continue to be intrigued by how and where these birds cross the Himalayan barrier. Barrier. Okay, barrier is something that stops the movement of something. Okay, according to this article, Himalayas is a barrier for this bird to cross. That's what the the writer is intrigued about, or that's what the scientists are fascinated about. Okay, and hence the study that we saw. Okay, now let's do another paragraph. In a recent study published on September 29, scientists from Wildlife Institute of India, Dehradun, the University of Oxford, and the Donana Biological Station, Seville, tracked the migration of black-eared kites to and from Delhi, flying over 9 Asian countries. Okay, now remember just a quick tip. So when you read tracked the, okay, TRACKED space the, remember you don't, emphasize on the D sound too much. Okay, so this is also a feature that native speakers display. I might have told you this earlier. Track the migration of. Okay, so once you track the T and the D sound should not be emphasized enough. That way you are displaying a good feature that a native speaker does. So track the migration of. Okay, it comes together. All right, intrigued is to be fascinated, Gandhi Reddy. All right, so read it that way. Track the migration of black-eared kites to and from Delhi. All right, now remember in your listening test and in your speaking, you will have to display this. And in your listening test, sometimes the word may not be emphasized and you might write the present tense. So you have to listen carefully to these differences. Okay, all right, let's move forward to the next sentence. The researchers tagged 19 kites, 14 adults, and 5 pre adults. Adults. With GPS trackers to reveal their routes. This way, the researchers found the kites seem to cross over the Karakoram range. The kites seem to cross over. Okay, do not emphasize on the R here. Cross over on the Karakoram range. Okay, so this is G, range. That's the pronunciation. Don't put the ch sound there. It's range. Okay, okay, good. Researchers again, not researchers. Okay, do not roll the R too much. So this is how you pronounce, and this is what helps you improve your score in the speaking area. You may have an accent, but it is important that you pronounce these words exactly the way native speakers do. All right, did you guys do it along with me? Did you understand what I said about the pronunciation features? Good. Yes, Preet, good. Aviva, good. Alekhya, Gandhi Reddy, Shiv Kailash, Akanksha, Sadhana, Dolly, Pooja, Mohan, good. Very good. Okay. No, it cannot be awestruck. Awestruck is like an extreme of fascinating. Intrigued is fascinated. That's all. Okay, Pravita. Avinash, good. Wonderful. All right. So now let's get to the part where we are framing sentences. Okay. And let's pick the same word that you've been confused about, intrigued. Okay. In this case, intrigued is a verb. To be intrigued is to be fascinated. All right. It's passive voice in this case. To be intrigued is to be fascinated. All right. Researcher, Babija. All right. Okay. So let's now think about a sentence for intrigue. So this is a verb. Remember, it's not a noun. Intriguing is an adjective. All right, it is an intriguing article, it is an interesting article. Okay, but think about it as a verb, intrigue as an action. So continue to be intrigued, as in scientists became fascinated about how these birds cross the Himalayan barrier. Think about another sentence for intrigued. Try writing another sentence. Remember, do it as a verb. Try doing it as a verb, the same way that this sentence has. Okay, good, good. Try, Pragati, Aviva, Manoj Kumar. I was intrigued after seeing that, uh, after seeing Tesla car that runs on electricity, after seeing Tesla car running on electricity. Saurabh, Pravalika, try a sentence. Saurabh, good sentence. Good way. The child was intrigued by the magic show. Good. Sindhuja. Wonderful. I was intrigued by 5-year old question. No, I was intrigued by the question that the 5-year old posed. Mohan. Our family trip intrigued you? How? Madhvi, does not make sense, really. Your family trip cannot intrigue you. It's like you want to know more about something. It's that kind of fascinating. Okay? That's how it's used. I was intrigued by reading some articles. I was intrigued. You did not intrigue anyone, Shiv Kailash. I was intrigued to see new birds in our country. I was intrigued by the idea to invest in mutual funds. Good. I'm intrigued by the way some people trying to be positive and working continuously in this pandemic. Good. Okay. You are intrigued by people's positive approach towards everything. Okay, Utkarsh. I was intrigued by seeing your results. You wanted to know more about the results, Santoshi. Careful about how you use that word. Intrigued is like you know about something, you get interested, and you want to know more. So you can't be intrigued seeing your results. You were shocked seeing your results, surprised, that's different. Okay, you are intrigued by traveling. Okay. I was intrigued to hear that good Nobel Prize was backed by two women. Okay, researchers in California were intrigued with the way COVID-19 vaccine test results came out. Good. I'm intrigued to see latest. Mohan, continue, complete that sentence. I am intrigued to see the latest. My friend and I, Niyati, were intrigued with local nobles. Okay. I am intrigued. Again, it should be passive voice. So you are intrigued by something. Okay, so you cannot intrigue anyone. I was intrigued by learning driving. The way she explained was intriguing, not was intrigued. Okay, I was intrigued by the Ganga River. Okay, when I saw Taj Mahal, it was intriguing. Okay, it intrigued me to know more about its history. I widely intrigue about it. No, again, I am very intrigued, or I am intrigued about doing something. Okay, think about something that questions you, that triggers your mind to know more. Okay, good, good. Purple Diva. I was intrigued by seeing rare parrot species. Okay, good, good. Aishwarya Shiv Kailash was intrigued by your presentation, Pragati. Good. Everyone is intrigued worldwide about how to control Sunny. Okay. Jamin says, I am widely intrigued about. Okay. Again, I am intrigued by an amazing painting. Amazing. Amazing. Jamin. I was intrigued by the new construction. I was intrigued to know more about the clinical condition of what, Jia? Okay, Aviva has a sentence. Let's see, Aviva. All right. The first book of Harry Potter intrigued you to read the others. All right, good one. I was intrigued about reading. Very well done. Okay, great. Good job. Good job. All right, so that's one word that we learned. Okay, and we'll just wrap up with framing sentences about your opinion. Okay, now this is also a very typical essay question. That's what I'm going to ask you. So, when you have these, when you read these articles, you somehow are aware of suddenly a different topic that you didn't get exposed to at all, right? So, until we saw this article, we did not know that such a bird exists or such a bird is being studied, right? Now, do you think that it is important to study and conserve these species, or should the government spend more money elsewhere? This was an essay question. You might have seen this question otherwise also, but this is a question that I'm posing to you right now. Do you think it is good to study these and invest money in studying these species and understand their migration patterns? Or do you think that the government or any organization should invest money elsewhere, something that's more tangible and meaningful? Do you think it's good to study? Do you think it's bad to spend money here? Let me know. Okay, and maybe invest in technology and all of that. That's what I mean. Do you think it's good? And if you think it's good, why do you think it's good? If you think it's not good, the government should spend money in more meaningful places. Why and what are those places? Okay, think about it and try writing a few sentences on the chat box. All right, that's how you frame opinion, that's how you are able to pick up and write sentences faster. Okay. Okay, good. Priya Saji, Jia, good sentences. All right. Now post these sentences as well. And with that, we come to an end of a very interesting guided newspaper practice. So, if you guys also want to know about our advanced programs, some of you here are already advanced members. If you guys want to know about our advanced programs, you can fill out the admissions form that is there in the description of this video. Okay, so once you fill out the form, you will get a call from our counselors and they will explain to you about how the program works. And if interested, you can go forward and enroll. Okay, all right. So I will see you with another. Again, Sindhuja, do not post only it is good to study. Why? Think about it. Okay. Yes. So let's see you in another guided newspaper practice session. Until then, keep practicing. Don't let the practice go off. Okay. All right. Good job. Bye bye. Take care. Have a